Dr. Parikh, you want to add your word? Is there any precaution needed at all on this entire issue of blood clots? Do you believe it's grossly exaggerated? We've got countries like France, Italy, Spain, the big European countries all pausing the rollout.
Well, I concur with my panelists up to a point. I am not 100% reassured, and I'll tell you why in a moment. I was hoping to look at the data comparing different vaccines in terms of blood clots. Some of the mutations in the virus, particularly the Brazilian and the South African variants, are known to dodge the antibodies produced by some of the vaccines. And that's a thing to keep in mind because there are mutants going around and we won't know which mutant it is unless a whole genome sequencing is done, which is a somewhat complicated process.
Are those mutants in India, according to you? Are those mutants already here? Are those strains already here with us?
No. Absolutely. There was one reported in Delhi today. But Rajdeep, there's something else I'd like to add, and I'd like my co-panelists to correct me if either my observation or my conclusion is incorrect. As I was watching your show, something caught my eye in the visuals that you showed, and that was the technique of vaccination. We were taught that the right way to give the vaccine is once the needle is inserted in the muscle to aspirate, that is to pull out a bit, to see if there is any blood drawn, to ensure that the vaccine is going in the muscle and not in a blood vessel. In two of the visuals, which I'm sure you all got from somewhere else, one of them in India and one abroad, in both of them, through the corner of my eye, I was astonished to see that no aspiration was done and the vaccine was injected directly into the muscle. That, I believe, poses a slight risk of the vaccine going into a blood vessel other than a muscle. But I am open to correction.
Dr. Parikh, can we, given what all of you have been saying, putting up certain warning signals while not being alarmist, can we really say a second wave is here? Because linked to this, the fact is the fatality rate is down in the new infection. So is this a milder strain that we are seeing? Is this a second wave as it is being described? Because the number of positivity rate has increased in the last few weeks?
Yes, to your second question, is this the second wave? I believe indeed it is. This has happened across the world. It has happened across history. Even as we speak now, there's an incipient third wave in Italy and Germany, which might sweep across the European continent. So it is in the nature of the virus. It is an intrinsic feature of the pandemic that it does come in multiple waves.
But isn't it milder? Isn't it milder with fewer infections and many of them asymptomatic?
Let's not be too certain of this, Rajdeep. I just want to take you back to exactly a year and 1 week ago. Your channel has been at the forefront of reporting on the pandemic, and you may recollect that I did an interview with you a year and a week ago, and there was a lot of reassurance in that. And at that time, there were just 84 cases in India and 0 deaths. And I did pull out some data and graphs and mathematical models to indicate that the picture was not that rosy. You agreed with me, though some of the panelists did not. And I believe it's time for us to look at the data again. It's time for us to be cautious. Optimism is a great thing. It makes us feel wonderful. But optimism in an overdose can have toxic side effects.